Hello, hello. Good afternoon. Can everyone hear me? Beautiful. How's everyone doing? After quite a bit of downside, actually. We're back at 40K. Well, around there. Rolling Stones, what's up? August, Araz. Welcome, welcome. So as always, gonna give it some time. So some people can join and then we'll get started. I'll be giving my thoughts high time frame on some, on my spot bags. Well, you might have seen yesterday that I sold some altcoins, so I'll give my reasoning for that and obviously cover Bitcoin, Ethereum, give both my high time frame bias and thoughts, as well as lower time frame potential trades and rotations. All right. How about you? I'm good, thank you. Hello, Paul, Mohammed. $44 people. Let's go. I'm gonna wait like 2 more minutes, then we'll get started. It's an interesting time, to be honest, in the market. We're at a point, where might be a flipping point, in my opinion, where we go from full bull, everything's going up, back to a more cautious market, a market that won't, where you don't make it when you simply long every dip. I think we're back in like market conditions where you need to wait for the ideal setup, right? While these last couple weeks to months, you could literally long any dip, right? We're back at the times where you don't place your stop loss below a low, in my opinion, but rather place it below an area, to allow for multiple sweeps of the lows. But we'll get into that in a second. So stay tuned, we'll talk about it. I'll also answer your questions if you have any, and do some requests as always at the end. What is this SAVM coin, by the way? Saw it all over Twitter. And I've literally never heard of it. Hello George, lost so much dollar. That's sad to hear, man. Risk management, it's everything, man. Please, how to scalp, yeah. Could write a book about that. Alright, let's get started. Before we get into the charts, I want to give a shout out to PrimeXBT for sponsoring the stream. PrimeXBT is an online platform where you can trade not only crypto but also indices, metals and forex all in a single place. You can use any crypto as a collateral. We've been working together with them since like, I don't even know, since 1918 maybe, 2018, so for a long time. And I still love them, so show them some love. There is a link in the description. If you use that link, you will arrive on this page. As you can see, you can get a deposit bonus of up to $7,000 simply by making an account on this page. If you did, make sure to send me a DM on Twitter or on Discord, because I will also give you access to my private Discord group. In that group I post all of my trades live, more analysis on altcoins daily, more general market thoughts. There's clean channels in the Discord, separated Bitcoin analysis, alt analysis, videos, education, stuff like that. All right, so make an account. You can get up to $7,000 in bonuses, and send me a DM and I'll get you added to the group. So big thanks to PrimeXBT for sponsoring. Head to the description for more info. All right, cool. If you enjoy the stream, please leave a like. That helps me to grow my YouTube channel, and subscribe if you haven't already. Then you get notified whenever I go live, whenever I post a video. So make sure to do that as well. All right, now for Bitcoin, where do we start, right? We've been taking out this high last week, and ever since pretty much we've seen downwards pressure, right? This was my main target for Bitcoin whenever I flipped ultra bull. Initially at the reclaim here at 18k, and then second time was when we broke out of these highs on the close here. I straight up targeted 48k plus. Unfortunately, I was targeting this as a first target, but I thought we would go a little bit higher, right, and do something like this before potentially seeing a bigger retrace. That was the original plan I had, right? But seeing this, I think we could be in for a bigger retrace from here. We took key liquidity, key high time frame liquidity above this high, right, on this sweep right after the ETF announcement, which in my opinion sets up for a nice play towards the downside. Okay, everyone got bullish, everyone expected us to just go straight for 100k on Bitcoin. Well, yeah, you know what happens whenever everyone is thinking the same. That's when you usually risk off, take some off, because yeah, as you can see, that's what happened. Now, price action on the lower time frames. What happened basically? We got that sweep. On this sweep, I posted live. I sold 10% of my Bitcoin. Why only 10% and not more? Well, in hindsight, it's easy to say you should have sold more, right? But yeah, whenever the time was there, I just stuck to my plan, and my plan was to start selling above this high, but to sell in parts, right? Sell 40% of my spot in total from 48k all the way to 60k. Okay, unfortunately we never got there, and we are down how much? For now, down 15% already. Okay, so I'm happy about the part I sold. Unfortunately, only sold 10%. Okay, what was my original plan for that part that I would be selling up here? Well, if Bitcoin would have gone straight up to new highs, so be it. I'm sorry. I would still have 60% of my spots and I'd still be happy. If not, and we did in fact do something like this, right? Retested this area, this would be the area where I would start loading back in. So where I would rebuy that 40% I sold up here, okay? As I said, that was my plan, where we would trade higher towards 50, 55, 58 at least, before potentially seeing a bigger retrace, right? We didn't get that. We only got the sweep of this high. Now, obviously, you can have a plan, but whenever things play out live, right, you've got to adjust your plan, and there's no problem, there shouldn't be a problem for any trader to change their bias or to change their plan whenever there's a change in events, right? What I mean with that, at the time I had that plan of selling up here, I didn't know where we would be trading before the ETF. I didn't know where we would be trading after the ETF. While now I know that we've had the ETF, we got the hype, that hype, ETF hype, sent us towards 50K, and post ETF we started selling off. And knowing that and having that in mind, I think this is a great area for Bitcoin to at least stay cautious until we break back above former highs. Does that make sense? Hello, Marco. What's up, man? Josh. Crypto sentiment changes this year. New lows coming. Damn. Yeah, but does that sort of mindset make sense to you guys, right? I think so what I mean with that is, I think this is a great place to simply be cautious until we either break back above the supply that sent us down here, which is this red area up here. This was the sideways price action, the sweep here, right, that sent us lower. Whenever price returns to that area, people who accumulated shorts in here and who sold will gonna want to defend that area, right? So that can be the result. The result can be downwards pressure from this area. If not, and price does this, boom, smashes through, and you get any retest close to this red area, those people gonna get out of their shorts, which results in buying pressure. I've explained this like 1,000 times, which often results in a pump from the area, which we call basically a breaker, right? But yeah, a long time before, I think, before we will get back to that area. Well, I don't know, but in my opinion, this red area is just a great area to sort of have a bias flip, right? As long as we're below this area, I would be cautious. If we break above, well, then simply it's all the foot fully on the gas again, and we can start targeting higher, okay? So, how do we go about this? Let's start off with the multiple scenarios for spot, right? Because I sold 10% of my spot up here. What's my plan in case we go lower? What's my plan in case we go higher, right? If we start pumping higher, right? So it's important you guys have these plans as well. Always be ready for any scenario. Have a scenario in case Bitcoin goes to 30K, right? Have a scenario for if Bitcoin goes to 50K. Have a scenario if Bitcoin goes to zero even, you know? No, but it's important. So starting off, if Bitcoin starts bottoming around here, maybe one more sweep of the lows even, I would allow that. If we're locally bottoming here, and this is in fact just a higher low that sends us to new highs, right? I will still follow my plan, and I will still sell more of my Bitcoin if we trade towards 52, 54, 56, 58, all the way to 60K. Follow my plan and sell sell 40% of my spot. Why? Because at that point, if we don't see a clean, a bigger retrace from here, I could still see us do something like this, right? Where we trade up, boom, all the way into here, everyone would get bullish again. Everyone would be targeting new all-time highs, and I could still see us from there make a lower high that sends us all the way back towards, maybe not that low at that point, maybe not to 30k, but maybe to 36, 40k, somewhere around there. So I will still follow that plan. Again, if we then retest those lows, rebuy that part. If we don't and we keep on pumping, I'll still have 60%. That 60%, by the way, is just fixed for 80 to 100k, right? That's the first scenario if we start pumping to new highs from here. If not, right, and in my opinion, that's the more likely scenario here for Bitcoin. I personally don't see us do this. Instead, I wouldn't say I see this dump straight to 30k, but what I think is the most likely scenario here is for Bitcoin to just range for a long time, right? Have upswings, have downswings, but just basically stay in between, let's say 46 and the lowest 30, in between there. And it can range longer than most think, right? Everyone thinks this either has to go up or has to go down. Well, no, we can also time capitulate. And what I mean with that is just chop everyone up in between those two price points until everyone gives up and everyone loses sight on the higher time frames and loses, well, everyone forgets sort of where we are trading in the market, and whenever that happens, right, it starts pumping again. I definitely see that as a high probability scenario here. So what am I gonna do then? Well, the part of the 10% part of the Bitcoin I sold up there, I will definitely look to rebuy that part lower down. Okay, first area of interest for me is this green area. Why? This was simply the sideways price action here that led to the clean break, right, and all of this upside towards initially 45k. Okay, so I think not only because of this sideways price action that led to the upside, but also because of the clean lows that are resting right above this green area. So clean liquidity resting lower right above this demand sets up for a nice setup. If we sweep those lows, big wick into that area and we get bought up, right? I think this could be at least the lower time frame low that sends us at least back towards the highs, right? At least back towards 46, maybe 47k. That doesn't mean that you have to swing this and straight up target 60k, right? I could still see a scenario where we do something like this, where we maybe take out the lows, maybe not even into this green area, maybe a quick sweep, right? Reclaim. Okay, we break back inside the range. Everyone will be targeting new highs. Instead, we do this, right? Take liquidity above here into supply. Whenever we're going to be trading here, everyone will be full bull again, right? Everyone will be targeting 50, 60Ks. But at that point, we would just be taking liquidity of the highs into supply. So I could still see us do that. And at that point, see us retrace all the way back for a bigger retrace into 30Ks. All right. Does that make sense? Well explained as always. Nice. Every yearly naked pockets retested every time. Turns out we haven't tagged the 2020 yearly. Yeah, I personally don't like saying things like that. I don't think looking at the past, it's sort of a fractal then, right? And I think looking at the past is just a great way to see what is possible in the markets, and that's what I use that for. For example, look at the past and see back then we've done this, so don't rule out that scenario, right? But looking at the past and saying stuff like this never happened, so it can't happen right now, yeah, that's just bullshit in my opinion, because anything can happen in the markets. CME gaps as well, right? Yes, sure, it can be filled, but definitely doesn't have to. Do you watch also Bitcoin dominance? Nah, I think Bitcoin dominance is a meme. I don't believe that. Keep these lives coming. Hey, I will. I definitely will. How do you mark your level and then execute it on the M1? Yeah, that's a very difficult question again. I don't really trade on the 1 minute chart, by the way. Lowest I go is 15 minutes, but mostly stay on the hourly and the 4 hour. Right, but anyways, so I hope that's clear. That's sort of my idea for spot, right? So I think anything below 40k, to be honest, for the long term for spot is a great buy. Okay, whether it be at 38, 39 or all the way down here, right? The area, most pivotal area on the chart at 30k. I think sub 40k is a great buy. Okay, so that's that. Now, how do we look at this purely from a trading perspective, right? As I said, I think clean liquidity below these lows. So in order for me to feel comfortably in longs, I would want to see one more run on these lows at least before looking to buy the dip, at least for a play towards a lower high, okay? It's not about catching the whole move, it's about catching maybe even 50% of it, right? So it's not because I'm longing here that I want to be targeting 60Ks. No, I can be longing here and simply target these range highs here and these local highs up here. So that's also the plan that I have right now. If we see a sweep of these lows, ideally, right, we tap at least 38.5 and ideally with a big cascade, so a big wick, a lot of liquidations, a lot of people stopped out, something like this, and then a strong buyback, okay? I might even put in some orders, right, at this area, somewhere around here with my average at 38.5 and then keep my invalidation below here, right? Because, yeah, I don't know, a lot of people are watching all of these lows here. I personally don't think if we go down from here, at least, that we will be going for those lows in one go. Okay, take a look at where local liquidity is resting at the moment. As I said, below these lows, where is upside liquidity resting? Above these highs. Above these highs, along with untapped supply here in the red. Let's go to the 6 hour chart. Yeah, that's cleaner. So along with an untapped range high and supply right above. So for me, it's rather simple. Whichever liquidity we tag first, I'll be targeting the other side. Meaning, if we go up from here, right, and take this liquidity, everyone you'll see on Twitter, everyone will be saying again, ooh, it was just a buy the dip event, boom, we're going for new highs. At that point, I could still do something like this, trap those people, reject, break back below here, and then see the drop towards here. At that point, I would feel less comfortable buying the dip below this range low, because at that point we have already taken liquidity above the highs. Meaning, if you buy the dip here, the draw on liquidity to the upside would be less. Right? Does that make sense? While on the other hand, if we go for the lows first, I would feel more comfortable buying the dip, because at that point you still have the draw on liquidity towards these highs, you still have the untapped range high and untapped supply up here. So at that point I would even feel more comfortable holding longs for new highs, because at that point we swept lower liquidity. So there's less draw to the downside. Does that make sense? Not sure if I'm talking too fast or if it's clear. Makes sense. How and when did you start trading? I started in 2017. You still have your Pepe bag? Well, I'll talk about it in a second. I don't actually. Makes sense. Awesome. Right. So before we go to the well, the alts part, it's important you understand this thought process I just gave you on the spot side of Bitcoin, right? So where I said that I think post ETF hype, right, that swept here, and then this rejection, it's only safe to be cautious, right? Bitcoin could easily, in my opinion, do something like this and then cascade all the way down to 32K before potentially bottoming, right? Well, locally bottoming, then probably ranging a lot more before breaking to new all-time highs. Whenever this scenario happens, what do you think alts will do whenever this cascade happens? Alts will be down 50, 60, maybe 70%, okay? So it's safe to be cautious here, in my opinion. And that's the reason why I sold, for now at least, my Pepe, Wu, and Doggy bags, because I want to have power. I want to have USDT ready. Well, I already had, but now I have even more. And I'm not that exposed to a potential event like this. On the weekly, when we were trading... Hold on, let me remove this for now. On the weekly, when we were trading here, I posted a scenario where I said price capitulation is behind us, I think. Not sure if time capitulation is. And then I posted a scenario, something like this, right? And then the run to all-time highs. And I got a lot of replies on that one of people saying I was comparing price action to back here, and actually I wasn't. I was just keeping open all possible scenarios, and I wasn't referring to this price action, but everyone was saying we need a black swan for that in order for price to trade back towards there, and I disagree. I think if it's in the chart, price will eventually trade towards the area it wants to. And I just thought that I didn't see price just continue with this upside momentum all the way to new all-time highs. And as you can see, we already slowed down. So I still see that scenario as highly likely, to be honest, where we trade lower towards like 35 at least, maybe all the way to 30K, and then spending a lot more time in between. I've already talked about it, 48 and 30K before making our way to new highs, right? And the question is, what will alts do? Well, if price on Bitcoin cascades down to 31K, which would be the ideal scenario, right? Alts will be down 50 to 70% in my opinion. But yeah, I hope we get it. You know, I hope we cascade down and see big liquidations. Why? Because that's healthier, and that gives you more power to push to new highs later than when you get constant downwards pressure and slow but constant selling. Okay, so ideally, maybe we take the highs here, right? Then spend some time, and then boom, I want to see a cascade. But yeah, if it doesn't happen, so be it. Can always buy back higher, right? So, all clear? Leave a like if you enjoyed the stream, guys. Helps me a lot. Let's get the likes to 50 at least. We have 100 people watching. Let's get them to 50. So these next couple weeks, I will say, maybe even months, I will just be looking to play rotations on Bitcoin, look to sell into the highs, look to long into the lows, and more importantly, take profit as soon as you have them. It's okay to be a bull, but it's amazing to buy at 10k and below, isn't it? Yeah, sure. If you get 10k, go all in, I'd say. But yeah, I can tell you it's not coming. What are your favorite altcoins for the bull run? Ethereum, Solana maybe? I have to go, thanks for the stream. Hey, no worries, man. All clear. Do you watch price action on TradingView always on the exchanges you trade? Always on TradingView, mate. Right, let's take a look at Ethereum now. Because Ethereum still looks very interesting. I mean, obviously, whenever Bitcoin pukes, Ethereum will follow at least a little bit. Can show strength, obviously, which it kind of did. Although I have been pretty disappointed still in Ethereum. But anyways, let's see. So we broke out of this bigger range with 1k around the lows and then 2k around the highs. Clean range, mid-range pivotal, right? Bounce, bounce, bottomed, right? If we were going lower, we should have broken down from this area, as I said before. Instead, mid-range held and we broke above range high. Okay, boom, done. Straight up, first scenario, you know that any downside, this range high level should hold. If it doesn't and you close a weekly below here, right, I would simply stay flat, right, or get out until we close the weekly back above there. At that point, first target would be this consolidation down here, the lows, and potentially here into here. I don't really think that's likely to happen, but any close below range high would definitely be a sign of weakness, in my opinion, right? I think if we, at least if we make it down here, right, it should be a sweep and bought up quickly, right? But as I said, with the scenario having in mind on Bitcoin that it trades towards 30k at the lowest, right? I don't think Ethereum is gonna trade towards those prices again, okay? But hey, 4 hour, well, let's actually check the daily first. So we broke out, right? And then a lot of ranging while Bitcoin outperformed. And then once up here, once we were trading here, Ethereum started breaking out and started outperforming. Broke out of this range once again. Range highs. Let's actually mark it out like this. Okay, so range broke out, initial high as a range high, first low as a range low, and look at this, range mean, pivotal, really pivotal, back towards the lows, swept the lows into former range high and closed back above. Doesn't this look exactly the same as this, but just on a lower time frame? Range high, broke out, initial high as a range high, first low as a range low. This did sweep the highs even, then swept the lows, from the lows broke out. While on the lower time frames, this hasn't swept the highs, but it did sweep the lows into former range high So that would open the door, in my opinion, for at least a pump back towards here, and in my opinion even towards here and potentially a lot higher. Okay, what invalidates this scenario? Well, if we close the daily back below this range high, that invalidates that scenario. At that point, this becomes key resistance, and I think we trade back towards range mean and all the way back towards range low. But as long as we hold above this range low level, I actually think Ethereum looks way better than Bitcoin, because this already swept key lows while Bitcoin didn't. Make sense? The daily ain't looking too bad as well. Hourly. Yeah, I kind of like it. Might even look for a long on this one. You expect Bitcoin to range while we rotate into ETH? Could be, yeah. That definitely could be the play. I just wanted to like reset things, right? Which is also why I sold those altcoins. I wanted to reset, see where Bitcoin is, and start over with a clean mind. Like, I held my Ethereum and Bitcoin, of course, but it didn't feel safe holding those other ones. I nearly doubled my spot portfolio in like a couple months, so definitely happy with that, and I want to keep it that way, which is why I did what I did. Do you have a job or a full-time trader? Full-time crypto, man. Full-time crypto. What, Lambo? Yeah, soon, man. Very soon. Right, any more questions? How to join your Discord? Well, if you use the link in the description and make an account, make a deposit, simply send me a DM and I'll add you for free. But yeah, I gave away quite a lot of profits on margin as well, that I had from these last couple weeks. These last couple days by longing stupid shitcoins and getting stopped out. But yeah, it is what it is. If you want those wins, you've got to accept those losses, you know. So that's the way. Simply stay in the game and never risk more than you're happy with to lose. If you trade altcoins, do you watch their volume before trading the coins? Nope. Do you always draw the range from high to low, or you vary from high to low and sometimes from low that led to that high? Yeah, you have different scenarios on drawing ranges, but I've made a full video on ranges, OTE, supply and demand. Basically all things that I use for my technical analysis, and the video is my pinned post on Twitter, so make sure to check that out. Will help you a lot. It's a great video in my opinion. I was bullish and long actually on TIA as well yesterday in the Discord. Said this is a key area, OTE, right, from the most recent lows that led to the highs at 20k. Right, we did a very nice TIA trade, traded the breakout here all the way to $20, closed like 80% on the way up and held 20% for $20, which we closed exactly at the highs. Price came down again, I posted key area down here, was long initially. I'm not sure if the setup, yep, see, this was the setup. Yeah, wasn't the best entry, but anyways, I would be in profit right now. Yeah, could have been better, but I closed it for a small loss after Bitcoin puked. But as you can see, it played out nicely. Key area, former resistance turned into support. Ideally, you don't want to see this back below these lows, in my opinion. Let's see the daily. Yeah, see this. This looks good, you know. Let's see where the. See, weekly open reclaim, retest. Ideally, it just puts in another candle like this one on the 4 hour and just straight up sends to new all-time highs. This will be the area we need to break above though, right? That was the sideways price action that led to all the downside. So if we get above there, right, then full send to new all-time highs. How would you get in on a play like this? Probably wait for some lows back towards this area. So something like this, boom, and then target higher, because up here, right, you're close to the supply area, so you're close to resistance, and goddamn long, and your stop loss is only safe below there, right? So if this is your first TP, you can see risk reward is not really there, and unless you target like $22, but then probability wise it's not that great, so I would wait for a dip to get like much better risk rewards. Do you use order flow like open interest or funding? Not really, no. So yeah, but TIA looks definitely good in my opinion. Say, I had a plan on this for longs, right? Wanted this to sweep these lows into range mean and then bounce, but as you can see, we closed ugly below range mean, so straight up invalidated that play. At this point, I would wait with longs until we sweep these lows and these lows here on the daily. Either that, so sweep those lows, or wait for a 4 hour reclaim of here and strength above range mean again. If we do this, then this was a deviation or a sweep of the lows, and at that point you can still re-enter, stops below this consolidation, target all-time highs and probably way higher. Solana, oof, that's interesting. I had a plan on this. See, I'll give you an example. I posted in the Discord yesterday. I posted a lot of altcoins with analysis. Posted this, for example. This was my plan for Sol. As you can see, played out nicely so far. Oops. Okay. So as long, let's see how the daily closed. Yeah, see, I don't like how we made sort of equal lows here. So I'd want to see one more run, to be honest, on those lows before looking to get in. Ideally, both on Bitcoin, if Bitcoin would sweep liquidity below here. Wait, where's... Okay, if Bitcoin does this, one more run and bounces at that point, Sol will probably, where is it? Boom, will probably have swept this. So boom, one more run, reclaim, and that's where I would be interested in longs. Okay, maybe not this low, maybe just scenario I showed here into this key level from back here, this one. And then I would be targeting probably these equal highs as a first target. Right? Clear for everyone? Let's see, link. Oh yeah, bit I wanted to talk about as well. Posted in the Discord as well. Let me see. There it is. Plan. There's a thing to do, by the way. Check charts, make your plan and follow it, right? Because then you have, in advance, you already know what you want to see before you enter. And what you don't want to see, right? So I wanted to see a sweep of these lows of lower liquidity into that key level right here, lining up with demand that broke us out of this consolidation, right? What did we get, right? We got some downside, but not towards the area we were watching. So once again, ideally Bitcoin takes a nuke again, and then BIT does this, sweep, reclaim, and then sends towards first target these highs, second one these highs up here all the way into here, and then potentially if we don't make a lower high here, something like this, right? If we just straight up pump up to new highs. All right, that's BIT. Link, let's see, that was interesting as well. Oof, look at this. Oh damn. That's so sad I missed this one. I said in the Discord, I said what an absolute beauty. After ranging for months and months, it broke out of its $5 to $10 consolidation, which is this bigger range, right? Now build a new range just to show you this one can range lower than most think. It does look good for continuation though, at least towards those clean highs at $20. So you know these highs up here, right? These two sort of equal highs, well, but clean highs, you know. Low time frame sweep of some lows, creating a bigger weekly wick to the downside could be a nice entry, is what I said with this chart. You know, at that point, we didn't have a clean lower wick on the weekly, as well as on Bitcoin and on most altcoins. And look at this absolute beauty, right? Played out to the T. Beautiful sweep, creating that lower wick. Now we have, if we look at the clean chart, beautiful wick to the downside, lower liquidity got swept on this move, higher liquidity, high time frame liquidity is still resting above there. So interesting, not a bad long, I think, and definitely showing strength against others. Maybe another retest, something like this, while Bitcoin and all the others do the stuff I just talked about, then enter target, target, and target. Right, that's gonna be it for today, guys. I've talked a lot, gave a lot of information, I think, on a short period of time. I hope you enjoyed. Are there any more questions? If I can ask you one thing, is just to leave a like on the stream if you've enjoyed. Subscribe to my YouTube. Again, thanks to PrimeXBT for sponsoring. Use the link in the description to make an account, get up to $7,000 in bonuses, and access to my private Discord where I post all of my stuff, where you can ask me anything at any time. So yeah, that would be much appreciated. All right, I will do more streams more often starting from next week. I will probably go live every Thursday and every Tuesday and every Thursday, but I'll make an official announcement on that. But just so you guys already know, there will be more videos and more live streams coming. All right. See you in the next one. Take care. Take it easy. Don't risk what you don't want to lose. Okay. And stay safe. Enjoy your weekend. Bye.